Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. Normally, I film the intro to a video and then dive into how we accomplish that project. Today's video is a little bit backwards. I'm filming the intro after I finish the project. I'm going to show you how I got to this end result. So today's project is removing the window tint from a rear hatch window, particularly like on the Corvettes, where you have the rear window defrost lines. You have to be really careful when you're removing window tint that you don't damage those defrost lines. If you just go pulling it off, you can lift up those defrost lines or break one of the lines, and then of course your rear defrost doesn't work. You also have to be careful that when you're pulling the window tint off, you don't leave a bunch of the adhesive behind, because that creates more work for you, because then you have to go back and manually scrub inch by inch trying to get that adhesive off. So that's what today's project is. Here's the end result. Now I'm going to show you how we got there. Okay, so here we go. I've done a little practice on the other windows, removing the window tint. So now I'm going to tackle the rear hatch glass here in the C5 Corvette. Again, I'm going to use a steamer, just like a regular clothing steamer. I've also put down a little bit of plastic here in the back hatch area. This old window tint is flaking off, little flaky stuff. And I don't want that all over the carpet, and obviously the steamer creates a lot of moisture as well, so I don't want that dripping on the carpet. So that just helps keep things a little bit cleaner. So we'll see how it goes. Follow along. Okay, we've got our steamer going. So away we go. So I've concentrated on heating up this section, and I want to see if I can get this corner. Okay, so we'll pause there. I need to refill the steamer with some more water. But as you can see, it's coming off, not leaving behind any residue, and it hasn't damaged the defroster lines either, which is really important. It looks like I will have some residue, some adhesive residue down here where the little dots are, but I can deal with that. It would have been nice if that had all come off without any adhesive either, but even when I really concentrate the steam, it's still left behind some adhesive there. But I can go back and clean that with some acetone or distilled white vinegar, something like that. So I'm going to refill the steamer. I'll keep going, and then we'll pick up again. I won't make you watch me do all of it, but we'll pick up once I've got all of it off, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I got the window tint off, which, by the way, the entire piece came off as one big giant piece. It didn't come off in little tiny strips. If you've ever taken window tint off before, you know it can start to tear. Overall, just one little spot up here, a little adhesive left behind, and then where these tiny dots are, we talked about that before, there's some adhesive left in this area. And really, no matter how much I steamed it, that didn't really seem to take the adhesive off with the tint. So I'm going to go back and clean that. I'm going to try a couple of different things here. Overall, really happy with how this turned out. A couple of tips. Go slow. Don't start pulling on it. If you get it right, it almost just peels itself off. If you have to tug on it, you're going too fast, and you'll end up leaving behind some of the adhesive, or you can also get it to separate. So the window tint has the tinted part of the plastic, and then like a clear plastic that goes over it. If you're not careful, you'll pull off the clear plastic. That would be on the outside. You can pull that off, and then it leaves the tint and the adhesive behind. I had one spot over here. It just started to do that, and you got to pay attention. Sometimes you get something in a weird angle and you can't quite see what's happening. Don't just go ripping it off. I saw that it was starting to separate, so I pulled it from the other direction and it all came off together. Really use the steamer. Go over the area that you're getting ready to work on, kind of pre-treat it. It helps soften up the film and it helps soften up the adhesive behind it. Kind of work the area just so everything's kind of warmed up, and then really focus on the area that line where you're pulling things back. I did it from both sides. You know, if I was pulling it this way, I heated it some over here and I heated it some over here, so that I slowly worked that line. And just anytime you're coming to one of your defroster lines, just be a little careful. Don't go ripping over it. If you take your time, it comes off pretty easy. So now I'm just going to go back and clean up a little bit of this adhesive that's left over, and we'll be done. We'll be ready for new tint. Okay, so I just cleaned this section here with some acetone, and obviously this hasn't been cleaned yet. So you can see how well this clears up without a ton of scrubbing, and the acetone doesn't take off the defroster lines either. So that left that pretty clean, so I'm going to keep working on the next section. There we go. So that cleaned up nicely. So I got these two sections done. I've still got to finish these two. But hopefully that gives you a good idea about what's involved in taking off the rear window tint in a hatch where you've got defroster lines. I highly recommend using the steamer like you use for steaming your clothes. And then a little bit of acetone if you do have any spots where there's a little bit of adhesive left behind. Go slow, and I think you'll have really good results. So thanks for tuning in to Scruff's Garage. If you have any questions, of course, hit me up in the comments. I'll help any way that I can. And I look forward to seeing you on the next project.